The Great Gatsby, color motifs. A color motif is using colors to get a point across without actually telling us what is meant. It's a way of creating connections through common description. It's an easy way to use universal symbolism. In the case of The Great Gatsby, a few colors stand out more than the rest, including green, white, gold, yellow, and silver, but a few minor ones are still important. Green is one of the most obvious, and it is used to represent hope, freshness, change, and the future. So how is it used in this story? Let's take a look. Fitzgerald says, Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. But what does this mean? What is the significance of the color green? It represents the future for Gatsby. It's everything that he's ever hoped and dreamed for. It represents a new life with Daisy. Throughout Gatsby's entire life, all he wants is Daisy. The purpose of the green light is to convey the idea that fixation on a dream that has already expired will not bring fulfillment of that dream. The best option is to move on to other dreams that are achievable. In this instance, it is ironic that the light is green, for Gatsby's future is not promising because as while the future recedes, Gatsby clings to the past. Similarly to green in Gatsby, the Statue of Liberty is green as a symbol of hope and new opportunities for the future of America. People letting go of their past see it as a beacon for a better future. White. They were both in white, and their dresses were rippling and fluttering as if they had just been blown back in after a short flight around the house. Both Daisy and Jordan are wearing white dresses to express their innocence as well as their ignorance. Both are carefree when it comes to the needs of others and have very little struggle to keep up their lavish lifestyle. Each one is viewed as pure and righteous. However, it is only outward appearance that makes it seem that way. In the painting Manifest Destiny, the woman is wearing a white dress to portray the intended purity and righteousness of this goal to extend from sea to shining sea. Like in The Great Gatsby, this is presented as a goal to be attained in the same way that Gatsby approaches Daisy. However, both innocent and pure symbols prove to be more harmful, bringing about unintended destruction to society. Yellow. It represents destruction, decay, and corruption. Fitzgerald writes, he says he knows the car that did it. It was a yellow car. But why does he use yellow? In this instance, it is the color of destruction. Fitzgerald strategically made Gatsby's car yellow because it was the death car that killed Myrtle. As a result, the lives of many New Yorkers were faced with destruction and turmoil. In this painting, the artist uses yellow as the color of the warrior's hair and wings to depict the warrior's brutality and destructive nature. The warrior is trained to kill and destroy and to stop at nothing, just as the yellow car doesn't stop when it kills Myrtle. Yellow brings out the worst in society. Gold. What do you think it means? What does this color represent? Gold represents wealth, success, and value. In The Great Gatsby, it is written, all night the saxophone wailed the hopeless comments of the Beale Street Blues while 100 pairs of golden and silver slippers shuffled the shining dust. In this quote, gold is used to illustrate the wealthy lifestyle that Daisy is accustomed to. Throughout her whole life, high quality and high value things have surrounded her. This is most likely how she has become oblivious to the regular hardships of life. Let's take a look at how other writers have used gold in literature. Robert Frost uses it in his poem Nothing Gold Can Stay. It reads, nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold, her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay. In Robert Frost's poem, gold is viewed as fresh, new, and lively. People typically reach his or her golden stage early in life, but this can't last forever. Gatsby is the perfect example of this. He finally gets to where he wants to be in life, but his happiness can only last for so long. He already lived his golden stage, and that was when he knew Daisy. His want for Daisy eventually leads to his death, proving that nothing gold can stain. The Lord of the Rings also reads, "He possessed a secret treasure that had come to him when he still lived in the light, a ring of gold that made his wearer invisible. It was the one thing he loved, his precious, and he talked to it, even when it was not with him." The Ring of Power is a symbol of success, dominance, wealth, value, and of course, power in the Lord of the Rings, reinforced by the traditional indicator of power, gold. However, every person who comes in contact with the ring has some side effects that are unwanted, becoming greedy and dependent on the ring like Gollum. The guests at the party, Gatsby and Tom, seem to fall into the trap of gold as well because they use it as crutches to soften the real problems in life. It seems like the quest for wealth and power is not worth the pain it brings to an individual and others. Silver is another color that is used to communicate wealth, though in this case it focuses more on social aspects. Some words that brings to mind are wealth, status, and distance. The Great Gatsby reads, "She caught a cold, and it made her voice huskier and more charming than ever, and Gatsby was overwhelmingly aware of the youth and mystery that wealth imprisons, and of Daisy, gleaming like silver, safe and proud above the hot struggles of the poor." Silver is used as a representation of wealth, and a reminder of the chasms it creates between the rich and the poor. Fitzgerald portrays Daisy as elite by allowing her to gleam like silver and make it seem as if the rich at their worst have life easier than the normal at their best. Even in her worst state, Daisy is still desirable. This is done in order to expose the overwhelmingly desire and pursuit of wealth despite its improbability. Khalil Gibran also uses silver in literature. He says, "The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold." But why does he say that? What does he mean? Gibran criticizes those who allow their happiness to be overcome by the desire for wealth, and the two colors used, gold and silver, represent wealth and value just as they do in The Great Gatsby. This is significant to humanity because it warns against sacrificing satisfaction in life for wealth and status in this increasingly competitive world. Blue and gray are also important, but don't have as much importance to the overall story and purpose. Blue represents mystery, illusion, and wistful dreams, as it seems in the blue paint on Daisy's cheek while she's with Gatsby. It reads, "A damp streak of hair lay like a dash of blue paint across her cheek, and her hand was wet with glistening drops as I took it to help her from the car." This shows that the relationship is fleeting, built on lies, and will never happen, just like Gatsby's blue gardens of wishful thinking. Gray is bland, unmoving, and represents cynicism, like Jordan's lying eyes in the desolate outskirts of the city where dreams have died. Colors make the stories interesting, easier to understand, and they offer something special. Pay attention, and you might catch something that you didn't catch before, because colors are important, and they do tell a story of their own.